So let us cover the important question answer from the chapter Vital Villages and the Thriving Towns. So the first one is, what are the evidence that show the growing use of iron? So around 2500 years ago, there is evidence for the growing use of iron tool. It includes access for clearing forest, iron plowshare that is used for increasing agriculture production. So this is the answer, okay? So first of all, it has been seen the use of access, and then later on use of iron plowshare. Now the second question, what steps were taken to increase the production of agriculture? Earlier, new tools and the system of transplantation increased the production of agriculture. However, irrigation was also used, and irrigation works that were built during this time include canals, wells, tanks and artificial lakes. So what happened? Due to the introduction of irrigation, the production has been increased, the production of agriculture has been increased, and irrigation was done through canals, wells, tank and artificial lakes. So this is the answer. Now, who live in the villages in the southern part of the subcontinent? So the villages have been given certain terms and the names have been given there. Let us see. So in the Tamil region, large landowners were known as Vellar, ordinary ploughmen were known as Ujavar, and landless laborer including slaves were known as Kadaishir and Adimai. So these were the people, they have been divided according to the land they are holding. If they are ordinary ploughmen, they will be known as Ujavar, and if they are landless laborer, then they will be known as Kadaishir and Adimai. Okay, so this is the division of the people. Now, next, who live in the village of North India? So here also we will see the division of people. In the northern part of the country, the village headman was known as the Gram Bhojaka. So the village headman, it means the Sarpanch will be known as the Gram Bhojaka. This post was hereditary. It means father will become the Gram Bhojaka. After that, if he will die, then the son will become the Gram Bhojaka. The Gram Bhojaka was often largest landowners. Generally, he had slaves and hired workers to cultivate the land. Apart from Gram Bhojaka, there were other independent farmers known as Grihapatis, most of whom were smaller landowners. So these Grihapatis have smaller landowners. And then there were men and women such as the Dasa Karmakara who did not own land and had to earn a living working on the fields owned by others. And apart from it, blacksmith, potter, carpenter and weaver were also there. So in the northern part, we have seen lots of people are here, and Gram Bhojaka is the head of the headman of the village, and the post is hereditary. After that, we have seen Grihapatis, and then the workers also, those who don't have the land, they are the Dasa Karmakar, and besides is blacksmith, potter, carpenter and weavers were also there. Done. So this is about the North Indian. Now, describe several ways of finding out about the early cities. So early cities have been described. Now let us see how they have been find it out. So historians and archaeologists use various sources to study early cities and villages. And the first one is the Jataka. These were the stories that were probably composed by ordinary people and then written down and preserved by Buddhist monk. Okay, so Jataka is the story that tell us about the early cities, and these Jataka stories were composed by the ordinary people and then written down and preserved by the Buddhist monk. Okay, so here we get to know about the cities. Now the second one, sculptures. So sculpture carved scenes depicting people live in towns and villages as well as forest. Many of these sculptures were used to decorate railings, pillars and gateways of buildings that were visited by people. So by going through the sculptures also, we came to know about the various cities and how the cities were curved, what were the railings were used, how the pillars were there. So all things just display in the sculptures, and after studying the sculptures and going through it minutely, we came to know about the cities and its structure, right? Then archaeological evidence. Excavation at ancient sites reveal remains like ring wells, remains of building, pottery and tools. So whenever archaeologists used to excavate any ancient area, they just get the remains, isn't it? So here also some remains were just, they take it out from the underground and they find out that the ring wells and the remains of buildings, pottery and tools were there, and this also indicate there were some cities were there. After that, travelers and sailors often highlight about the places they visited. They observed and documented valuable insight of cities like market, unique custom and practices, different classes of the people within the city. So what happened? This traveler, whenever they used to roam, what did they do? They just see the area, the cities and then write all these things, okay? And then later on these have became as a source of information for the history also, isn't it? So we came to know about the cities also through the travelers and their voyages. Okay. Coins. Ancient punch mark coins made of silver and copper shows trade activities. The coins reveals growth of trade and commerce and use of money instead of barter system. So barter system was there where you have to give the things were purchased by giving another thing, isn't it? But now here introduction of the coin has also just revealed about the growth of trade and commerce and the use of money instead of barter. So through coins also we just came to know about the ancient cities. Okay. Now, why was Mathura famous, or what was the function performed in early cities like Mathura? Mathura has been important settlement for more than 2500 years. It was important because it was located at the crossroad of two major routes of travel and trade, from the northwest to the east and from north to south. Okay, so that's why it was very much important because of its location. There were fortifications around the city and several shrines. So the city was fortified. It means big walls were there and they have been just surrounded around the cities. Farmers and herders from adjoining areas provided food for people in the cities. So farmers and herders just bring the food for the people in the cities. Mathura was also a center where some extremely fine sculptures were produced. Around 2000 years ago, Mathura became the second capital of the Kusana. Okay, so around 2000 years, it became the capital of Kusana. Mathura was a religious center. There were Buddhist monasteries, Jain shrines, and it was important center for the worship of Krishna. Okay, and the people in Mathura were also engaged in various professions like goldsmith, weavers, and blacksmith. It indicates a diverse and vibrant urban society. Okay, so this is about Mathura. What is craft person, or least the craft person who would have been present in the villages and the town? So archaeological evidence proof for crafts. This include extremely fine pottery known as the Northern Black Polish Ware (NBPW). It gets its name from the fact that it is generally found in the northern part of the subcontinent. Now many craft person and merchants form association known as shrines. These shrines of craft person provided training, procured raw material and distributed the finished product. Okay, so this is the work of the shrines. Then shrines of merchant organized the trade. Shrines also serve as bank where rich men and women deposited money, and this was invested and part of the interest was returned or used to support religious institutions such as monastery. Okay, so this is the craft person and this were their role, and in this way they manages both villages and town. Question number 8. So write a short note on Arikamedu. So Arikamedu was an ancient port town located near modern-day Puducherry in India. Arikamedu was a coastal settlement where ships unloaded goods from distant land. The key finding at Arikamedu include Roman pottery that indicates the presence of foreign traders. Okay, so this is a short note on Arikamedu. Then finally, list the evidence that indicate that there was contact of Arikamedu with Rome. Archaeologists have found structure resembling to Roman warehouses or storage facilities which were likely to use for storing imported goods at Arikamedu. Okay, so these were the evidence. Roman lamps, glassware and gems have also been found at the site. Excavation have uncovered Roman pottery, that is the red glass pottery, and amphora, tall double-handled jar that contain liquids such as wine or oil, confirming trade with Rome. So these were the amphora and the pottery were from the Roman. And the presence of dyeing vats indicated Arikamedu exported textiles also. So these are the evidence that indicate that there were a contact of Arikamedu with Rome. So here we have covered 9 questions, important question and answer from the topic vital villages and thriving towns. I hope this may be helpful to you from the examination point of view. So if you like this video, don't forget to like, share and subscribe.